The hotels, the nice hotels, those were my choice. Coach Jason Capson here. Coach Jason Capson here, and today we're talking about staycations versus vacations and why I personally think that staycations are better than vacations. We're going to get into that and a lot more. Let's go. I've been blessed over the years to have been able to travel extensively throughout North America and, to down south a few times. I've been to Paris. I've been to some nice places. I've been very, very lucky, very blessed. And over the years, I've realized that there is a big difference between vacations and staycations. And my wife really loves staycations. And since I've met her, I've been sort of exposed to these new things. I've been exposed to a number of different staycations, and I've really learned to love them for a lot of different reasons. If you haven't checked out my video called Relationship Magic, the 5 reasons to keep dating your spouse, you might want to go check that video out because it does go into more details about, those reasons, the 5 reasons why you should keep dating your spouse. But one of them does talk about staycations, and there's a lot of reasons why staycations are a better choice than vacations most of the time. First and foremost, the most obvious one is the cost. With staycations, not only do you save money, but you also get to explore your local communities, your local states, provinces, cities, where, depending on where you live, most of us, and this is strange, like most of us don't really know what's in our own backyard. Until we start discovering and start exploring it. And I thank God for my wife because she has exposed me to a lot of those things. And I remember one of the very first ones that we stayed in, the catchphrase for this bubble dome that we stayed in was a 1,000,000-star review, or 1,000,000 stars. People rate things with stars. There's 1,000,000 stars because when you're in this dome, and it was a blow up dome. It was air filled. And when you got in, it was really cool. There was an echo that went around the dome, but it was open. It was facing the back. It was facing towards the woods. And at nighttime, when you looked up, all you saw was 1,000,000 stars, and it was absolutely stunningly beautiful. So, this is my own backyard. This is really like 30-minute drive from here. And I was really, really impressed by that. And that was sort of the beginning of our real staycation adventures. And again, supporting local is a really important thing for me personally, and I hope it is for you as well. But supporting local does help our local economy, and giving back to local does just help with growth and with development for your local communities. And the other great thing about staycations is it really allows you to reconnect with your spouse. And my wife and I try to do a staycation once a month, and if we can. I know that a lot of people can't do that, but you should try your best to do a staycation as often as you can, because again, it just really does help with connections. I've been able to explore and see some different things that I never would have done on my own or with anyone else in the past, staying in cabins, staying in domes, staying, the hotels, the nice hotels, those were my choice, those were my things. But again, we go to hotels sometimes because we want to explore the towns or the cities where those nice hotels are. But recently, we've really been making an effort to do different things, tiny homes, tiny houses, cabins, things like that. We've got a couple more coming up that I'm really looking forward to. So again, over the years, I've been really lucky to have been able to go on some really nice vacations with family. And we recently took the boys to the Dominican, and that was an adventure of a lifetime. It was a vacation of a lifetime. I did a review of that vacation. It wasn't necessarily the best resort that I've ever stayed at. In fact, it's probably not one that I would even recommend. Check out this video right here. And but the resort that my wife and I stayed at for our honeymoon, Finest Punta Cana, was probably the best vacation experience I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely magical in every way. And again, it's good to be able to do that if you can, but they are cost prohibitive. They are very expensive to go on a trip like that. We're probably not going to do that very often. We really, again, have sort of embraced this staycation mode, and there's lots to explore in our local areas, and we're really going to try to take advantage of that over the next few years. Now, one of the staycations that we did together was at a beautiful lake house in Nova Scotia, and it really gave me a different perspective of what lake life is all about. And it was my first opportunity to stay at a lake house. Now, it was a little colder. I forget what time of year it was, but it was cold. We couldn't explore the water at that time. But just this past summer, we had another staycation. Friends of ours have an Airbnb, a beautiful lake house that we really did get to enjoy the lake and do some canoeing and paddle boarding and swimming and the campfires. And it was just, it actually changed me as a human. It changed me to the point where my wife and I are now looking for a lake house of our own, that we're hoping to be able to sell our home and move to a lake house permanently. We're considering a lake house just because of that staycation and what that, just how it felt and what it was, lake life. If you haven't done a lake house, do yourself a favor, do a staycation, find yourself a nice lake house and stay at a lake house, because it blew my mind. It really it did blow my mind, because we're beach people. We like the beach, we like the sand, we like the sun, but the lake house, it won me over. There's lots to do, lots to explore, lots to see, lots to experience at a lake house, and that is a staycation that I would highly, highly recommend. But the vacation side of things, again, we were planning on going on another big vacation this coming year, and we decided against it. We decided to cancel the trip and do some more staycations instead for a lot of different reasons. And again, when you talk about the financial impact, when you talk about giving back to your community, when you can consider discovering your local area and the bonding, the connecting that you can do with your loved ones, then it really does. Staycations are the clear winner. So if you are a traveler, if you travel on a regular basis, and I'm not against travel, obviously I travel for a living. I travel a lot during the year. And I'm not opposed to going and exploring different places and seeing the world. I've got friends that are in Europe and traveling overseas and things like that. And that's great. Do your thing. But I challenge you that if you are used to going down south, if you're used to going, now again, the part of the world that I live in, it gets very, very cold. So I understand that people want to escape the cold and head down south to the warm. I get that.
I don't want to freeze my butt off in the cold.
And believe me, I understand that. However, if you haven't explored your local area, if you haven't done a staycation or multiple staycations, I challenge you to do that. Challenge you for 2024 to start doing more staycations. Go stay at a yurt, go stay at a dome, go stay in a tree house, go stay in a little home, go stay. There's all kinds of different things that you can do that are different, that are exciting. Go on some hikes, go canoeing. We're going to do some in the wintertime where we get to, kind of maybe go skating. I don't know about that. We'll see. But, and the other thing, some of these you can bring your dogs. The dog. All that said, I do have to say that staycations for me personally have been a blessing. I've really learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my spouse, and we absolutely love them. And we're going to do a lot more of them in the next year. And I challenge you to do the same thing and really embrace the staycation. Really embrace, exploring local and try to discover some new spots that you love. I'm going to put some links in the description below for some of the places that we've stayed locally. So if you are local, you can check those links out and maybe book some of those adventures for yourself. Thank you for tuning in. It's Coach Jason Capson. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. I hope I have brought some value to you today, maybe a little bit of entertainment along the way. But have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.